question.
The next question, la prochaine question est de Hannah Thibodeau from CBC News. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
Hi, thank you for taking our questions. I'd like to start first. Many young Canadians who received a first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine are now concerned about their second dose, and that this shot is really being discouraged from their age group. What is the plan for them?
Okay, it's a Dr. Njoo. I'll take that question. I'll start off. First of all, in terms of the AstraZeneca vaccine, the fact is that overall it's a very I think safe and effective vaccine. I think at the global level, I think close to 200 million doses of the vaccine have been administered, and I think it's been proven and shown in many countries to have a very important sort of impact in terms of preventing a serious illness and death. So I think that needs to be stated up front, and that I think it would still be the case here in Canada. I think it's a credit to sort of the surveillance systems in Europe, as well as obviously a system here in Canada, post-marketing, to be able to have detected the safety signal, this rare event, with the blood clots that we all know about now, that is rare, but that certainly needs to be taken seriously and looked into. So I think in Canada we are taking the prudent approach based on the recommendation from NACI. We're taking a pause in terms of use of the AstraZeneca vaccine for those under 55 years of age, but certainly continue to recommend very strongly, in terms of the benefits versus the risk. Anyone over the age of 55, you should accept or certainly go for the first vaccine that's offered to you, and that includes AstraZeneca. For the younger ones, I think we'll let it play out in terms of the due diligence. I know that Health Canada, as a regulator, has been in very close contact and communicating and with their European counterparts. They actually participated in a meeting of the European Medicines Agency, and so are well aware of the data and the evidence that was put forward in terms of what's happening in Europe. They've also put additional terms and conditions to AstraZeneca in terms of requesting additional data stratified by age and gender, so they can do further analyses and in the Canadian context. And so based on that, they'll do their deliberations and come forward with recommendations as appropriate. And then obviously following sort of the data coming from Health Canada, NACI, as a sort of an expert advisory committee, would take that into account and provide updated guidance as necessary and appropriate. I think there is I think a bit of time, because we are NACI has recommended the dosing interval could be extended up to 4 months, and so I think for the time being, I think that folks are fine. I think that other options could be looked at. I think what you might be getting at, and we're seeing some experience and sort of trials going on around the world in terms of a mixed schedule, where someone might be receiving a first dose of a certain type of vaccine, and then their second dose is another type of vaccine. We're looking very carefully at that as well to see what the outcomes are in terms of overall effectiveness, and certainly that'll be taken into account in terms of what might be put forward here in Canada. But at the present time, you're right. The current sort of recommendation is that if you begin a series, especially a 2-dose regime for a certain vaccine, it's obviously better to continue and have your second dose with that same vaccine. But there is some time, and we're all looking at the data, and we'll make the adjustments as necessary and appropriate. Thank you.
So just to clarify, for someone who's under 55 who received their first AstraZeneca dose, it's wait for now. Hopefully you will be able to get your second AstraZeneca dose, but it could become potentially a second dose of Pfizer or a second dose of Moderna. Am I correct in what I'm saying?
It's possible, but at the present time, I would say that Health Canada is looking at the data. That they'll certainly take that into account in terms of what is best in the Canadian context, and then NACI will also look at the data as it continues to evolve and become available from other countries around the world, and they'll make the best recommendations for what we could or should be doing for, quote, as you say, that second dose for the AstraZeneca 2-dose regime.